Okay. So I can unpin my sticky note that reminded me. So if you would like to come down onto the ground and lying back, just take your legs up over the front of your body, take your arms up to the ceiling. So heavy back, heavy head, arms in the air. And there's a softness to your legs, there's a softness to your arms, just being aware of the weight and the energy running through your arms. Breathing in through your nose, and you can sigh the breath out through a small gap in your lips. So breathe in through your nose and out through the lips. And it's really about waiting, just waiting for the body to settle. And as well as waiting, feel the weight, starting to notice the weight of the head, your shoulders, your back, your pelvis. Listen to the sound of your breath as you sigh it out through that small gap in your lips. On your next exhale, can you drop your arms across the center of your chest, fold your elbows, fingers to the outsides of your shoulders, keep your legs over the front body if you can, and continue to breathe in through your nose, out through your lips. Going right to the end of the exhales. Inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Fold your arms the other way, so your other elbow is on top. Just feeling a little bit of expansion across the backs of your shoulders. You're giving yourself a hug. Inhale your arms up to the ceiling. And then bring your hands behind your knees. So just have your hands behind your knees and continue to keep your legs over the front body. But now, can you have your shoulders and upper arms and elbows on the floor? So your knees are going to fall apart. Toes will be pointing in more or less towards each other, but then definitely not touching. So you're in an upside down squat. Just noticing breath. You can breathe in and out through the nose, but keep the softness in your jaw. And just allow yourself to have this really relaxed sensation in your pelvis, keeping a softness in your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows. And then just allow your feet to go to the floor. Keep your feet flat on the floor with your knees bent. Relax your arms at your sides. And slowly slide one leg away and then the other leg away. And really noticing the groundedness, the sense of being supported by the ground and the ground coming up to meet you. Noticing breath. And just rolling, bringing your legs over the front body. And can you roll all the way over into child's pose? So right away, coming into child's pose and having your big toes touching. So it's really hare pose, big toes touching, knees wide, sliding your arms forwards as you come to the floor, deciding on whether you can bring your forehead to the floor with your arms extended, or you can have the two hands resting under your forehead. Noticing your jaw, going right to the end of the exhales here. Being aware of weight of your head. So whether it's on your hands or the floor, feel the weight of your head. And feel the weight of your pelvis dropping back. And then just bring yourself slowly up to sitting on your heels. I'd like you to come to the all fours and just bring the back of one of your hands onto your waist and just allow it to fall off your waist and let gravity place your hand down. And then do the same on the other side. Do this 2 or 3 times. Just put the back of one hand at the back of your waist and just let it fall off and come to the ground. And that's the place where your hands should be. So when you've done that a couple of times, in the all fours, can you just close your eyes and start to imagine what the floor beneath your hands looks like and feel it. I want you to sense the floor beneath your hands as though you have never seen it. So you're just resting with your eyes closed, being aware of sensation beneath your hands. And I'd like you to let your spine start to float up towards the ceiling. And I use the word float. I'd like you to feel the way the spine is moving and just let your breath come and go in a natural pattern. And then let the spine float back to neutral and down into the extension. Keep your eyes closed so that you can really tune in to the movement of your spine. Normally I say breathe in as you round up, breathe out as you sink. But I'd like you just to let your breath come naturally. Maybe there's 2 or 3 breaths as the spine floats up to the ceiling, and 2 or 3 breaths as you come into the extension. And as you feel your spine floating, movement through the air, can you feel the heaviness of your head, especially when the spine is rounded up? Feel that heaviness. Can you let your tailbone drop? And then as you go in the opposite direction, the spine extending, be aware of how your tailbone rolls up and the crown of your head rolls up. Can you keep this movement going for a little bit longer? Just keeping that sense of moving through space. So you do this all the time. So it's really important to get slightly different perspective on what's going on. And come back to the hare pose, toes touching, knees wide, and just finding the place that's comfortable for you. If you can take the arms forwards, forehead to the floor, then do that. If it's better to have your elbows bent, your hands under your forehead, then do that. I want you to think of your upper arm muscles from your elbows to your shoulders. And those muscles are continuous with the muscles of your shoulder blades, the muscles that go all the way down your back to the top of your pelvis. So each side of your spine, the big muscles that form the sides of your body, and they feed into your spine all the way down. They finally reach the top of your pelvis, the bony pelvis. These are actually your arm muscles, all the way from your bony pelvis up the sides of your spine, all the way across your shoulder blades, all the way down your upper arms to your elbows. And then coming back to your fours, tuck your toes under. So can you just push yourself onto the balls of your feet and have a little, we're going into the squat from here. So just have a little rock from side to side, just warming up your toes, your ankles and your knees and your hips. So just do the best you can, playing around with the joints, getting some movement, swinging to the side, putting one heel down as you turn to that side and then the other heel down. And then we're going to come back. I want your feet under your hips, so not too close and not too wide. You're on the balls of your feet. Drop your knees to the floor. Hopefully your bottom is quite near your heels. Put your hands down on the floor. So you've got your bottom near your heels. Bring the backs of your hands by your waist again and let them fall to the floor. So really do that a few times. Really notice how your hands find their own place, because your hands are actually coming from the muscle that supports your arms. So once you've found that place, close your eyes again. And I'd like you just to notice your pelvic floor. So just notice that you're not tense. As you start to lift your knees and take your sitting bones up towards the ceiling. You don't need to straighten your knees, you're just slowly taking sitting bones to the ceiling. And just soften there, soften your pelvic floor, feel your tailbone going towards the join between the wall and the ceiling behind you. Feel as though your arms are falling away from your pelvis at the back. And then start to bend your knees, keep your front body on your thighs as you slowly come back to the ground. And resting. So resting in whatever is a good position for you. So whether it's back in ordinary child pose or hare pose. And I'd like us to come up again. Can you this time come up to your fours, keep your bottom in the air and slide your arms forwards face to the floor so that you've made your back into the ski slope. So your bottom is in the air above your heels. Careful with your shoulders, Laura. Don't overdo it. It's about your armpits, opening the underneath of your arms, not overdoing it. So again, noticing from your elbows, your upper arms, shoulder blades, right side of your back, all the way to the top of the pelvis, the left side of your back, all the way to the top of your pelvis. And you might feel quite a stretch on your deep abdominal muscles. So from the fronts of your hip bones in a triangle point down to your pubic bone. So deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And then uncurl. And from there, I'd like you to go back onto your backs. So come back onto your backs with your knees bent. You're coming into semi-supine. Palms, arms by your sides, palms of your hands turned up. Feel the weight of your head, relaxing your shoulders. Put your feet flat on the floor with the knees bent. So feet on the floor with your knees bent. I'd like you to really notice the backs of your arms, the shoulder blades, sides of your back. I'm going to ask you to slide just your right arm, first of all, palm turned up, slide that right arm along the floor, taking it as high as it will go, and being really conscious of moving from your back muscles. So as you take the arm as high as it will comfortably go, have a few deep breaths there. So it's still on the floor, it's not come off the floor. And then slowly bring it back down. And then with your left palm turned up, start to slide that arm along the floor as high as it will go comfortably for you. Feeling that you're moving from your back muscles and your shoulder blade. Your shoulder blade should move when your arm moves. Your arm doesn't do all this on its own. And then slowly lower your arm along the floor and back. Pausing, noticing sensation in your arms in the back. And then can you slide both arms? And don't expect them to go to the same place, they probably won't. So just finding that lift for your arms where you've got some openness in your armpits. And when you've gone to the comfortable place for you, then just stop and wait and bring your attention down to your feet. So if you send your kneecaps forwards and your intention is to put weight into the ground through your legs, feel your pelvis start to lift away from the floor. So your pelvis doesn't know that you're going to lift it, your legs are doing the lifting. So bringing yourself up, knees go forwards, feel the openness at the front of your hips, your groins. And as you lift up here, notice what's happening in your arms. So the back of the body is relaxed, your arms are softening a little bit more, noticing the openness in your armpits. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Keep your arms where they are unless you really need to drop them back a bit. And slowly replace your spine, vertebra by vertebra, to the ground. When you reach the ground, big breath in, feel the rolling of your pelvis, the arching of your lumbar, and make any adjustments to your feet. We're going to go up again. So send the weight down through the feet as your kneecaps both go straight ahead and your legs pick up your pelvis. And just be aware of this lift, every little moment of lift. And the trunk is relaxed, your torso is relaxed, the legs are doing the work. Notice what's happening in your arms. So you might find there's a little bit more movement in your arms, a bit more openness in your armpits. Feel the length from the top, the back of your pelvis, up the sides of your body, shoulder blades, upper arms. And really slowly replace the vertebra, just part by part, back down on the ground. Slide your arms, keep them supported by the floor, bring your arms down by your sides. So, taking a few moments here, just noticing sensations. And we're going to slide your left leg away. Slide your left leg away. Let your arms stay where they are for the moment, just out to the sides. And can you begin to press into your right foot, keep your right knee at the ceiling, and just feel your body roll. So press into the foot, send the kneecap straight ahead over the foot, and you're rolling onto your left side. Keeping your left side as passive as you can. And notice where your head's rolling. So let it roll wherever it wants to. Hopefully it's not staying still, it's actually rolling somewhere. And find a place that feels good for your arms. Notice if you're holding any tension in your shoulders. So Jeff, you don't go all the way over like that. You keep your knee pointing at the ceiling, keep both arms out to the side. So it's just press and roll and then come back. Keep the kneecap pointing at the ceiling. It's only your hip that rolls and you feel the weight going, that's it. So yeah, noticing where you feel tension and see if you can let that tension go. And how easy is the movement? How slidey is the thigh bone in the hip socket? Can you feel the response of your spine, your ribs, and shoulders? I particularly want you to feel that you can release your shoulders. So when you drop back next time, then slide this right leg away, just rest for a moment, both legs long. Just noticing any sensations here. And then if you could bend your left leg. And starting to press down through that left foot, send the kneecap forwards. Feel the rolling in your pelvis and your head. So we're usually different on each side, so this might feel different. Remember to send the kneecap over the center of its foot. Don't let it go with you. So you press, roll, and drop back. And again, press, roll, and drop back. And I haven't said anything about the breath, but find which way you want to breathe. There's no right or wrong. What's really important is that your head is joining in, not the brain bit, the bit that just responds. So it's rolling somewhere. Press and roll. Feel the slidiness of your pelvis, your vertebra, your ribs, shoulders, neck. And really notice softening, relaxing in your shoulders. It's quite easy not to notice the tension in the shoulders. So just see if you can do that. And take another moment here and then fall back and slide both legs away, resting in Shavasana. So then, if you bring your knees over the front of your body again, hands on your kneecaps, can you begin to roll your head to one side, let your knees follow, and then roll your head to the other side and the body follows that way. So lead with your head, feel the bony skull really pressing. So you're aware of the bony skull, bones of your pelvis, and your ribs. And then from one side, could you come up to sitting? So bring yourselves to sitting. So you can sit cross-legged, or you can sit with your legs straight out. So whichever is most comfortable. And still thinking about the arms. So thinking about the sides of your body, your arms are connected into your spine and all into your ribs. So if you bring your right arm out to the side and feel yourself lifting the arm right up from your, and don't just go straight up like this, but can you feel that you're moving, oscillating and drawing the arm, maybe never getting near your ear. And then we'll lower that arm. But I want you really, we're doing this so that you can really feel the shoulder blade moving and the arm working from your back muscles. Start on your other side. So the palm turning up as you start to feel the arm coming up. And the shoulder blade has to lift. You need to work to feel into the lift. And again, the arm doesn't go straight up and it may never go that high. And then just let that arm come down and work both arms simultaneously. And you can see I'm sort of pulsing. So don't just go like this, which is, I often teach you to do that, but can you pulse, feel the arms just moving out from the sides of your body slowly coming up as high as you can. And then if they do go up high, that's fine. But what I'd like you to do is bring your arms to this sort of position. And can you come forwards with rounding and then lift and then round? Can you imagine that you're a sea creature and that you're stuck to the bottom of the ocean, but you can move your arms and your trunk? So you're oscillating forwards and up. And as you go forwards, you might start to circle to one side and to the other side. So you can come all the way up from one side, go down, and up to the other side, and go down. So you can do this, that's it, lovely. Free form, just thinking about yourself being a sea creature, and even though you're using your arms, the back muscles are working. Notice how your spine is able to undulate and go in all directions. And then folding forwards, just let the backs of the hands be on the floor. So whether you're cross-legged or straight-legged, backs of the hands on the floor, soften your arms, feeling that softness in your shoulders. And then uncurl into sitting up. When you come up here, just feeling a little bit more awareness of going down through the sitting bones, so that if you're okay to take your arms out again and maybe up a little way, what I want you to feel as the arms come up is that you're going down through your sitting bones. You don't have to bring your arms up that high. And feeling the weight of your sitting bones. Bring your arms in, backs of the hands together in front of you. Really noticing the weight going down through your sitting bones. And bringing one ear towards the upper arm. And then lifting that arm, keeping the ear and the arm connected as you take the arm up. And then bringing that hand down, taking the other upper arm to the other ear, taking this arm up, so you're extending from the elbow, and then coming back. And we'll release. Can you, as you drop your elbows, your hands are still here, can you really feel a sense of releasing your shoulders, releasing down into the ground? And we're going to come over, back into all fours. And this time in all fours, have your toes tucked under. Sit back on your heels again. Back of the hand behind the waist. Drop the hand to the floor. So you've been here before tonight. Close your eyes. Sense the floor beneath your hands. And really feel the softness, the release in your neck. As you lift your knees, just maybe an inch off the ground, just notice that you're not tensing up in your neck. And then continue to take your sitting bones towards the heels and then up towards the wall behind you. And finding space. So it's about space. Can you feel as though your arms are falling out of your back? And maybe feeling that your legs are falling from your pelvis. And then walk your hands towards your feet and hang over your legs. So hanging over your legs for a moment. And I want you to, as you hang over your legs, feel as though your feet are the only thing stopping you falling to the floor. Everything else is really, really soft. You're really dangling. So use your feet to slowly uncurl. So it's your feet, the ground beneath your feet that are sending you up into standing. And when you come to standing, all the work you've been doing on your arms aren't hanging forwards, your arms are actually back a little. Palms might even be facing forwards a little. I don't want you to do this, but have a sense of shoulders falling down your back, feeling those back muscles. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. If you've got your eyes open, just close them, and using your sense of sound, just for a moment, being really conscious of sounds around you. Sounds around you. And then open your eyes, gaze straight ahead. So gazing at something that's fixed, have a soft gaze, start to develop your peripheral vision. So as you become aware of your peripheral vision, you're going to slowly bring your arms out to the sides. You're raising them really slowly. Notice at what point you can see your fingers with your peripheral vision. Keep your arms coming up and out to the sides, keeping your fingers in your peripheral vision. As the arms keep going up, make sure your palms are turned up, and notice at what point you can't see your fingers anymore. So noticing maybe you can see one hand or fingers better than the other. And what do you need to do about that? And then slowly lower your arms again, just being aware of the peripheral vision. Noticing at what point you stop seeing your fingers again. Softness in your gaze. Let your whole body relax. And I'd like you to bring your arms just to shoulder height or a little bit lower, so it's a comfortable place for you. Can you start to undulate? Imagine that you're still in the sea, but your feet are fixed, and that you're moving backwards and forwards, so that you can actually, in order to go back, your palms need to turn up. So as you undulate, palms turn up as you go back, they turn down as you go forwards. So undulating, and it's not just about your shoulders, it's your spine, your pelvis, and it's also your knees and your ankles. So feeling this movement. And then let your arms relax down by your sides. From here, taking a step with your right foot. So step your right foot forwards. Nothing's happened to the left foot. Put your left hand on your left hip bone, the right hand on your right shoulder. We're going to rotate to the right. So keeping your left hip back as you exhale and begin to rotate from the mid-spine to the right. So you don't have to look over your shoulder. Just make sure that your neck is relaxed and you're keeping your left hip back. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Another deep breath in, and as you breathe out, return to center. And relax the arms, stepping back. So from mountain pose, step your left foot forwards. Right hand on the right hip bone, left hand on your upper left chest. So this hand here on your right hip bone is to keep that, remind you to keep the hip back. As you exhale and feel the rotation from your mid-spine, so your rib cage is turning a little as you turn to the left. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Another deep breath in here. As you breathe out, come back to center and relaxing your arms, stepping back. So you probably remember we did the Christ of Rio movement. So bring, let's step the right foot forwards. Bring the backs of your hands together in front of your chest. And as you open your arms, palms are forwards, thumbs turned up. So as you exhale, think about your left hip staying back as you begin to rotate to the right. So don't let your left hip come forwards as you rotate upper body to the right. Arms are coming directly out from sides of your body. Deep breaths in here. Deep breaths out, and then coming back on an out breath. And let your arms fall. And stepping back. So the rotation comes from, if you think about your breastbone, your sternum is sort of in this soft bit here. And if you take your awareness straight back to the front of your spine, that's the part where we're rotating from. So step your left foot forwards. Bring the backs of your hands in front of your chest and open. So feel your arms strong. The sides of your body are holding them up. As you exhale, keep the right hip back as you start to rotate from that mid-spine to your left. So deep breaths in, deep breaths out, keeping lots of space in your chest, across the body. Another deep breath in here. As you breathe out, return to center and drop the arms. And stepping back. And spending a few moments in mountain pose. Noticing the softness in your arms. So this is resting, finding that rest. So we can take that awareness of rotation into a forward turn, Trikonasana. So if you step your right foot forwards, when you come forwards, feel yourself moving from the top of your hips. You're inhaling, exhale as you go forwards, keeping a sense of softness. And the back of your right hand is forward, so the back of your right hand goes to the inner right knee. Don't go down too far. Just let the hand rest on the inner knee. Put the left palm flat on the back of your pelvis. So the breath in, as you breathe out, feel yourself rotating from that point behind your sternum as your right shoulder goes down, your left shoulder goes up. Your head only turns once your ribs have turned, and just looking straight ahead. So straight out to your left. So deep breaths, another deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring your shoulders back to center, put both hands on the back of your pelvis and come up and coming up. Okay, so stepping back. So from here, step your left foot forwards, not too much. So make sure that you haven't moved your right foot. So it's not a very big step, but it can be wide. Keep both legs straight if you can, but if you're going to bend a leg, it's the front one. So feeling yourself hinging at where your legs and your hips join, and let your left hand come down to the inner left leg. Relax your neck. Right hand on the back of your pelvis, so it's flat on the back of your pelvis. As you exhale, you're going to start to rotate your ribs. Left shoulder goes down, right shoulder starts to come up as you rotate in the ribs. And deep breaths. Strong legs, deep breaths. Keep your feet firm. Another deep breath in. Put both hands on the back of your pelvis and press into your feet and come up. And stepping back. So take a moment in mountain pose. I'm going to roll down to the floor and come back to sitting before we lie down again. So to come to the floor this time, can you turn your toes out and just literally drop into the squat? And moving from foot to foot. Now, we usually move in the squat. You can keep moving if that's better for you, but if you're able to drop your heels and hold the squat. So you've got your, you can turn your toes out and your upper arms are on the insides of your knees, palms of your hands together, and you're keeping your breastbone lifted. Otherwise, you can continue to swing from side to side. Well done. And let's take a moment here. Then we're going to come to sitting. So if you bring your legs out from underneath you. Okay. Could you get your socks and tops and your blankets? You can sit on your bolsters if you like. To make yourself warm. So I want you to be really comfortable and warm. Cross-legged doesn't matter if you're cross-legged or not, so long as you can stay relaxed. So under your blankets, put your blankets around your shoulders. I want you to cross your hands and put your hands into your armpits. So your fingers are in the armpits, thumbs are on top. Some people prefer to have the thumbs in the armpits and the fingers on top. I don't. I think it's better if you can to get your fingers in. So I won't have a blanket, but you wrap yourselves up so you'll stay warm. The good thing about having your hands like this is that there is a little bit of lift in the chest, in the upper body. And so you find that your posture is quite good and your sitting bones are going down. Close your eyes. So you've got pressure in both armpits. Fingers pressing into the armpits. And noticing the triangle of your breath. So breath fairly even at both nostrils as you breathe in and breathe out. Keep a softness in your mouth and your jaw. And simply follow the breath at both nostrils, this triangle formed by your nostrils. Keep your eyes closed. Relax the pressure in your right armpit. Press a little bit harder in your left. Notice any change in the nostril breathing, whether one feels more dominant than the other now. And then relax your fingers in the left armpit and press harder into the right. And noticing any change in the nostrils. And then relax. Under your blanket, just let your hands rest in your lap. The back of one hand resting in the palm of the other. Continue to notice your breathing. And as you breathe out, be aware of the back of your body from the crown of your head, down the back of your spine, all the way to your tailbone. And then breathing in up the front of your spine, from your tailbone to the crown of your head. So the back body, as you breathe out, it feels as though it's settling back. The front body, as you breathe in, is expanding forwards a little. This is very subtle. So then, just being aware that the breath out down the back of the body is keeping you in the present. The back body is in the present, the here and now. The breath in takes you forwards into your next activity. Just notice yourself moving safely forwards. Just visualize that as you breathe in. Just moving forwards. And then come back to being in the present, taking the awareness into the back of your body again. So you're anchored in the present with your out breath. The in breath is helping you to move forwards. So folding your blanket over you now so that you can keep your eyes closed if possible. Lie back on your mats for a final few moments of being grounded on the floor in Shavasana. So being as comfortable as possible. If you need to adjust, then adjust. So once you've settled your body, you've settled your coverings, really be aware of how the body is sinking to the ground. So the body supported by the ground. Feel as though the ground is coming up to meet the body. Just notice all those contact points, the weight of your head, the weight of your upper back and shoulders, the weight of your mid-back, your waist, your pelvis, buttocks, legs, heels, the weight of your arms, the backs of your hands. Spend a moment just being sure that you have arranged your body so that there's no tension. You can relax completely. That you really can give the weight of your body to the floor. And just noticing sounds. So being aware of sounds. Sounds in your room. All sounds coming to you from your sides, from above you, behind you. Noticing sounds. Notice any sounds within you. Notice the touch of the air on your skin where it's exposed. Be aware of the skin of your whole body. Places where the skin is soft and relaxed. Places where it's stretched over bone, but still relaxed. And settling your senses, being aware of your eyeballs, behind your eyelids. Feel them sinking back, dropping back into your head. The backs of your eyes connected to your brain and slowly settling, quietening. Bring your awareness to your earlobes. In your imagination, tracing the shape of your earlobes, the whorls of your earlobes, designed to catch sound. Be aware of your ear canals. Let your awareness travel along your ear canals into the center, of the brain. The ear canals designed to send sound to be interpreted. Feeling them softening and relaxing. Be aware of the skin surrounding your earlobes. Feel it soft and smooth and relaxed. Come to an awareness of your jaw, where it meets just in front of your earlobes, upper jaw, lower jaw. Just soften into that joint. Feel the spaciousness inside your mouth. Be aware of the breath as it touches your nostrils and travels down the back of your throat into your body. The expansion and release as you breathe in and breathe out. And you do not have to do anything, just simply experience the movement of your breath. Just take pleasure in the breath. Being aware of the back of your body as you breathe out. You're anchored in the present. And the uplift of the front of the body as you breathe in, taking you forwards. Once again, be aware of the weight of your body, feeling the connection of your body against the floor and the way the floor is supporting you. Be aware of the sounds, however subtle. Listen for sounds around you. And without moving your head, open your eyes and be aware of your peripheral vision. Just reorientating. Close your eyes. Begin to move your fingers and toes. You can roll your head from side to side, starting to bring movement back into the body. You can yawn and stretch. You can draw your knees up, hug your knees, embracing your body, feeling your body. You can have a little rock from side to side. Eventually rolling onto one side. There's no rush. And from your side, bring yourself up to sitting or kneeling. Keep your eyes closed. If you rub the palms of your hands together, build up some heat in your palms and bring your hands over your heart center. So one hand on top of the other. Feel the pressure of your hands, that connection with your body, your heart, your mind, your breath. And listening to your heart, your body, for any insights or wisdom. And thanking your body for being with you right here, right now. Rub your palms again to build up more heat. And then if you could place your hot palms over your closed eyelids, drop your hands, your head down into your hands. So feel the weight of your head in your hands. And then lift your head and slowly blinking your eyes into the darkness of your hands. Bringing your hands gradually away from your eyes.